When I was in school, there was a new girl that was introduced to the class. This was in high school, so it was normal for new students to be shy, but she was different. She wasn't shy, she was just quiet. Really quiet. I remember saying hello to her just for her to give me a blank stare. I thought she just didn't speak English, so I tried waving instead, but I got nothing back. I was unsettled by it, so I turned away and ignored her from then on. However, one day during lunch, I saw her sitting alone. I felt bad for her, so I went to the table and introduced myself. Again, nothing. I didn't want to make a scene by leaving, so I stayed and we sat in silence. It was very awkward, but I took a closer look at her. She was very pretty. I didn't understand why she seemed so lifeless, a walking corpse. The bell rang and I decided to say one more thing before I left. I invited her to my birthday party. I wasn't very popular, but I had to figure this girl out. I didn't get a reply, but she looked in my eyes. They seemed so sad. Days went by, and it was the day of my party. I completely forgot that I invited her to it because I assumed she wouldn't bother, but there she was. This means she can understand what I'm saying. I showed her around my house and introduced her to my friends. I was having fun until she pulled me aside. She stared at me again, but her eyes were desperate. I didn't know what she wanted me to do, but then she grabbed my hands and put them under her shirt. I wasn't that type of guy, so I told her that this wasn't right, but then she took off her shirt. I closed my eyes at first, but slowly opened them, and I was horrified. There were bruises all over her body, scratch marks, scars. I was so horrified that I couldn't get any words out of my mouth. For the first time since I met her, she said words. She said, "Help me." I let her stay for the night after the party was over. I tried covering her up and put ointment on her wounds. I gave her my bed, but she grabbed me tightly and asked me to stay. I told her I would, but I have to sleep on the floor. My parents were gone for the night, so I wanted to wait to ask them what we should do when they come back in the morning. However, when I woke up, she was gone. I searched throughout my house and asked my parents if they saw a girl. They looked confused, but I was concerned. I rushed to the school where they told me she wasn't coming back because she was moving. My heart dropped, and I left class immediately to find out where she lives. I couldn't find anything. She was gone. The next day I saw her. I cried for this girl that I barely knew. She was on the news. She was found dead. The worst part was that it was her own father. She was beaten by her father. This girl never knew what kindness was until I showed her. I wish I could have found her. I could have saved her. I'm sorry, Avery.